I'm here on attachment for a couple of months on Thursdays and Fridays, and the idea is that during that time I try and complete the first draft of a play that I'm working on, and that I do that in the context of a theatrical environment, so it's meant to give me lots of inspiration and help me to move on with it. The play I'm working on is set in 1783, and the idea for it came first of all from looking at a big volcanic eruption in Iceland which took place that year, and what happened afterwards, a great cloud of toxic gas came over Britain and caused what they called a remarkable frost, a strange frost, and it was kind of like a sulphurous I don't know what you would call it, some sort of sulphurous layer on the ground. And in particular areas of Britain, this caused trees to die and crops to fail, and lots of people died that summer. In parish records it says that something like 23,000 agricultural workers died. And there are some really interesting stories about particular parts of England where this caused an unusual event. So I'm quite interested in what people thought of that in the time, and my play is centred in a little village in Suffolk where on one side there are people who are interested in the new science and who have explanations for that sort of event, and on the other side there are people who believe that God has judged the world, and that the great cloud and the sun turning red and all those kind of environmental things which we would explain scientifically are in fact something that they have a superstition about. I'm really excited by theatre, and I love the live event of theatre. I don't think I'd want to be a writer for you know, to write a novel or something like that, because I'm really interested in the moment when people get on stage and something happens between an audience and performers. And what I love to write is that live event. That's what I'm interested in writing. So although when you think of being a playwright, you think about words and you think about writing things on a computer like this, in fact what you're constructing in your head is something which is alive in 3D, and that's the challenge of it, and that's what's interesting to me. Well, I've done quite a lot of work in sort of small scale work, and I've done a lot of work in the last while which has enabled me to write for maybe an hour-long performance or something like that. And I suppose what I'd like to do is to have the time which this attachment is giving me to think in a bigger scale. And that doesn't mean to write a play with lots of people in it perhaps, but it's just thinking about a play which is more developed in time and has big ideas at the centre of it, which I can kind of try and wrestle with and try and make into something which I haven't really had the chance to